Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Poland will investigate the country's energy policy between 2007 and 2015 during the rule of the Liberal Civic Platform and the Agrarian People's Party. Both parties are now in opposition. The current government accuses politicians of collusion with the interests of the energy sector of the Russian Federation. The Polish Parliament, the same, will establish an investigative commission with special powers. The commission is to analyse, among other things, official acts, the creation, reproduction and sharing of information with third parties, influencing the content of administrative decisions, issuing harmful decisions, and making statements of intent on behalf of a public authority.
Dziś słyszeliśmy i wczoraj zapowiedzi.
We have heard today and yesterday announcements by opposition politicians that they will not support this law, which would establish this commission. What we are observing is deception, and by the way, not the first one. For 7 years we have seen various attempts to trap Donald Tusk, and after all this has already been done, investigations, commissions. The commission to investigate Russian influence on Poland's internal security from 2007 to 2022 could, among other things, decide to revoke administrative decisions issued as the result of Russian influence, prohibit the performance of functions related to the dispensing of public funds for up to 10 years, and revoke security clearance for 10 years. On Sunday, Solidarna Polska deputies proposed setting up a commission of inquiry into energy policy, with a particular focus on the pro-Russian activities of Donald Tusk's government. The Verification Commission, on the other hand, can work after the end of the term of the same, and has a statutory right to admit experts to the Commission's work. In 2010, the PO-PSL government forgave Gazprom's 1.2 billion zloty debt for the transfer of gas through Poland's territory, which had been unregulated since 2006. In 2017, MP Jarosław Sachajko filed for an interpretation of the matter. This amount was a striking amount. We should not give up the money we were owed for the high gas prices we paid. When the gas contract, which was unfavourable to Poland, was extended, Waldemar Pawlak was serving as Minister of Economy. The former Deputy Prime Minister called the construction of the Baltic Pipe gas pipeline an unnecessary and baseless investment, just a month before the outbreak of the war in Ukraine. Last week, Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki announced that, according to the latest documents, this agreement was to last until 2045. The Baltic Pipe actually represents a foundation of our energy security. In April, Russia cut off Poland's gas supply months before the Yamal contract was completed. Gas from Norway is still imported gas, but from a much more civilized supplier, Norway. Donald Tusk's government's close cooperation with Russia is also reflected in documents revealed by TVP Info, which show that in 2008, Radosław Sikorski went to a meeting with Russia's foreign minister with a thesis prepared by the foreign ministry's Eastern Policy Department. Poland is interested in stable supplies of Russian oil and gas. We believe that the EU-Russian energy dialogue is conducive to the development of clear principles of cooperation, and therefore we seek to actively participate in it. Russia is the European Union's largest immediate neighbour and strategic partner. We support the development of a balanced EU-Eastern policy, of which relations with Russia are one of the essential elements. Within the European Union, we actively participate in building a strategic partnership with Russia. Increasing gas contracts with Russia, reducing capacity, agreeing to a climate policy that allowed Polish mines to close, and importing more coal from Russia. The State Commission for Investigating Russian Influences on Poland's Security, 2007 to 2022, is to consist of 9 members appointed and dismissed by the Sejm. Cooperation between Korean and Polish industry on such a large scale will benefit both sides. This year, Poland expects deliveries of K2 tanks and K9 howitzers. Next year, FA-50 aircraft and Chunmoo launchers. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence Mariusz Błaszczak said at the meeting with Mr. Il-sung, Deputy Minister of the Defence Procurement Planning Agency of the Republic of Korea. Korean Defence Minister Lee Yong-sup also addressed the event by letter, stressing that the total value of contracts for the supply of K2 tanks, K9 howitzers, FA-50 aircraft and Chunmoo missile systems exceeds $12 billion, and that the contracts were concluded this year. Poland is now Korea's most important partner in Europe. The year 2022 is a landmark year in cooperation, and the defence industry is at the centre of it. I thank the Korean government for its openness in the discussions with Poland and for building cooperation in a much broader scope than just trade. It is thanks to the Korean government that Poland will receive deliveries of K2 tanks, K9 howitzers, FA-50 aircraft and Chunmoo multi-launcher rocket launchers much sooner. In the situation of Poland's continued support of Ukraine in the field of equipment, it is of great importance for us to be able to quickly meet the needs of the armed forces of the Republic of Poland. Thanks to this, we are simultaneously making a leap in the modernization of the Polish army. Developing cooperation in the arms industry on such a large scale and in less than 200 days is an unprecedented achievement. In pursuit of this success, the governments of both countries talked openly about their problems while making efforts to work out a favourable solution. The Polish government will maintain the zero VAT rate on food introduced last year to fight inflation. According to the Finance Minister Magdalena Rzeczkowska, by the end of this week, a decree will be issued which will extend the application of the inflation shield for Poles on basic food products. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki conveyed this decision today at a press conference. As promised, we will maintain these shields until the end of the year, and from the beginning of the year, we will introduce other new shield mechanisms. They will come into force as of the 1st of January, so as to protect Poles from the effects of high inflation. What are these mechanisms? First of all, a price freeze. That is, a price freeze on electricity for households up to 2,000 kilowatt-hours of annual consumption. In the case of families with people with disabilities, this is 2,600 kilowatt-hours of annual consumption. And for families with 3 children or more, and farms where more electrical appliances are used, we will offer a price freeze of up to 3,000 kilowatt-hours per year. Above this consumption, you can also benefit from a fixed price of 690 per megawatt-hour. All this is done to mitigate budget and legislative changes, some of which the European Commission is forcing us to make. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.